Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie, and I assist people from my generation going through spiritual awakening and learning how to manifest the life that they really want to live. So today we're going to speak about a very specific topic that I think is very necessary right now. How to go through ascension symptoms, how to go through spiritual awakening symptoms and cope with it in a way that's, comfortable for everybody. So what are these symptoms? When we are starting this spiritual awakening, usually it comes after big change or is triggered by big life transformations, career changes, relationships, family, scenarios, all sorts of really, really important transformative situations that happen trigger this spiritual awakening in which we start wondering, there has to be something more. What's up with this reality? Sometimes even I feel like suffering is what kind of allows us to expand our consciousness into a further state, allowing us to contemplate new realities and new possibilities for ourselves. After this happens, symptoms like, your vibration is going to inevitably begin to change and raise. So you're going to start feeling maybe tired for no reason, feeling very fatigued. You might start having very crazy dreams and very profound, vivid dreams. You might experience a lot of synchronicity, seeing on your clock 1111, 555, 444, 333, repeating number sequences like this, or all sorts of coincidences, lots of feathers, lots of weird encounters to animals, things like that you feel have a spiritual undertone, like a mystical undertone. That could be a symptom of spiritual awakening as well. Spiritual awakening is something that I feel like more and more people are going to go through in this day and age, because as a collective, we're starting to recognize our power once again as co-creators of our reality. So other symptoms that you might experience are when I mention lots of change, I mean change that doesn't necessarily feel pleasant sometimes. So maybe you've had a relationship with a friend for 10 years, and now you're beginning to change and you feel different and you see the world differently and you want more for yourself and the world and you want to be of service. And this kind of creates a disconnect with the relationships you have, and people begin to drift. And that might be very painful and you might not understand why, but this is actually a favor that the universe is doing for you, because everything that is no longer serving you, everything that is not going to be pushing you towards your highest good is going to leave your life. And this might be something that, can hurt, but it's ultimately for your highest good. Other symptoms of this is heightened emotions. So if maybe you never cried, you never really had this tendency to get teary-eyed over things, and you're very okay with your emotions, while you're going through spiritual awakening, or the further you go into it, I guess you could say, emotions are going to be more and more heightened. So you're going to feel like anything makes you cry. You're going to feel very sensitive. You might have this burst of purging in which you're crying and have this either anxiety episodes, or nervous breakdowns, or all sorts of things that bring a lot of energy out of your system through crying, through all sorts of things. So, I mean, you can research a lot about spiritual awakening symptoms, and I have other videos about it, and I'm going to be creating more content about it, of course. But I think that today is more important for us to focus on how to cope with that. Okay, so astrologically also, that has an influence. Astrology, whether we realize it or not, believe in it or not, has an influence in our system. We are mostly made up of water. And if the moon has the ability to change and move tides, like high tide and low tide, believe me, it has an influence in how we feel and how we think. And also astrology, depending on the planets going direct or retrograde and all of the different eclipses and things like that, can create powerful boost to our awakening and to our elevation of our frequency, and that could create physical symptoms as well. So when you feel this way, fatigued, out of motivation, you can't do anything, you don't understand why you feel this way, you feel like you're kind of sick but not really physically, you might be feeling very emotional, very lost, very kind of I don't know what to do next. When you're feeling this way, listen to your body and allow the process to unfold. The biggest source of stress and the biggest source of discomfort is the resistance we have to that process. If one person simply says, okay, I feel tired, I'm just gonna you know, go through the motions and do as little effort as possible to keep going with my life, and I'm just going to let it be, that person is going to have such a beautiful experience compared to the other person who's resistant and who's wondering, why on earth do I feel this way? What am I doing wrong? I have to keep my routine. I have to wake up at 5 in the morning every day. And if I'm not productive all the time, I'm not going to, you know, if you're into that dialogue, you're going to drain the little energy that you have left on trying to fulfill your own high expectations. So let's recognize that life has cycles and flows. And let's allow, when we're down, let's allow ourselves to be down. And when we're high and we have all that energy, believe me that in one day you will be able to kind of like do everything that you couldn't do when you were down and feeling down in the dumps and feeling really tired. So it is a matter of adapting. It is a matter of allowing our sensitivity to be our superpower instead of our newfound, you know, like weakness. When you go through spiritual awakening and your senses begin to, you know, I don't know how to explain it, like capture all of this psychic information. All of your channels are going to be receiving information from everything, from the people that you meet, from the places that you go, from the things that you see online. You're going to be receiving tons of information, psychic information. That depletes the system. So we need to now learn, after spiritual awakening, how to create and sustain our life in a different way. So that's why you see that people who usually go through spiritual awakening start, you know, eating a lot better, doing yoga, working out, adapting to healthy habits, because once you are open and you're awakened in that way and your system is receiving so much information, if you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna like explode, I swear to God. So my suggestion is, 1, take good care of yourself, and 2, allow yourself to be in the process and in the part of the cycle that you need to be, and don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. You're going to be high, full of energy sometimes, and you're going to be very low and very depleted sometimes. Learn how to place your energy boundaries very strategically. Learn how to protect your energy. I have a lot of videos on this subject of protecting your energy, so you can go ahead and check that out if you feel like it. And basically be very loving and compassionate with yourselves. I think that that is the best thing and the best way to cope with ascension symptoms and spiritual awakening symptoms. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Visit our website, awakenwildchild.com, and over there you can contact me. You can write to me directly if you want. I would love to connect. Or you can comment in the section below as well. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We share all about anything and everything that you can possibly need to, you know, navigate that curiosity that you might feel regarding your spirituality and go deeper into the inner wisdom that you already have. Bye guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.